What's up? Black men have to bring the black community back together, family unity. Now, if you're a black man out there and you're trying to self-improve, gain, a grounded black identity, be confident in who you are as a black man, and coming together with other black men in your community and just seeing the black men rise, the black community rise, eating healthier, becoming more financially literate. If you're interested in all those things and increasing yourself as a black man in all those things, I have a guide that I've made a deep dive into all of those things when it comes to relationships and all that. And so if you're interested in that, I have a guide that I've made in the link for that will be in the comments of this video, the description of this video. And if you click on my channel in the bio section, you'll see the link for that. So click on that, check that out. Now, when we look what we really need in the black community, we need family unity. Um, I was just looking at some more statistics, and we're below replacement level when it comes to our population, when it comes to our birth rate in America with black Americans. And our population, I think, what is continuously growing, but it's growing by like immigration and people from Africa probably coming over here and then identifying as black American. And I was looking at that, bro, and I think that in America with the black people's culture, we've successfully destroyed the dynamic between the black man and the black woman and us coming together because through recent years, we've seen there's been a heavy push for, oh, the black woman, she do whatever she want to. She's Mrs. Independent. She's stronger. She's better. She don't need a man. She don't need a black man. A lot of times they're misanders. They just hate men in general. They hate black men. And, just a whole bunch of things you see where it's pushing us away from each other. And, that's not a coincidence why you see the abortion rate is, I think, the highest among black women. And I'm not saying any of this to bash black women, but what I'm saying is there is an agenda out there that wants to push the black man and the black woman away from each other, and they want to put us in the mentality like we're not good for each other and we don't need each other, you know. And a lot of people don't like to go back to reality with things, and be real with ourselves and look at, okay, what's the most harmonious dynamic for us to be in? And we all know that's for the black man to be masculine and be the leader, and the black woman to be the feminine one and to follow under the man. And that's not to say that she's less significant, but I think that when you look at family dynamics, it's the most harmonious when it's in that dynamic across the board with any race. You probably would see that. But I think that that's what we're missing a lot of times in the black community, where you can find a man who may be hyper masculine, but he doesn't promote family. He's not for the unity of the family. He's for lust, sex, not caring about anything. And I think that we have to start using logic and doing things that are best for us. And that's why the men have to step up and be the leaders in the community and be the leaders of the household, right? And I think when I was younger, I'll get caught up in this degenerate type of mindset. Oh, I gotta do this and I gotta do that and I gotta please a woman in this way and I gotta act cool because I need to act like a thug and I need to do all this. No, we have to really start looking at what the black community needs. This is why I've spoken about, looking at like the ultra orthodox Jewish community, and you see that they're very communal. And that's why I think that the average woman in one of those communities has like 6 kids, and they get married young, and it's they wait to have sex before marriage. And I'm not sitting here trying to emphasize we have to bring religion back into things. What I'm trying to emphasize is that we have to start doing what's good for us and doing things that's going to help us be prosperous, right? And that's the thing that we have to understand. We need to be prosperous. We need to have a way of life that's prosperous, right? We need to have community, tight knit community. We need to have our own we need to have our own schools, uh our own lifestyle, our own nation, our own way of life, right? Where it's us doing that. And I think that a lot of times we get thrown into this government type of thing, Democrat, Republican, and then it's so much modernity and everything where it's not even okay for a man to be a traditional masculine man anymore. It's not okay for a woman to be a traditional feminine woman anymore. Those things aren't glorified in the black community anymore, right? The things that are glorified is to the woman to be like this super mega boss, ego driven type of woman, and the man to either be this a lot of times to be effeminate or to be like just beta. And I don't like to use the word beta, alpha, all these type of things, but we either promote the man being super degenerate or effeminate. We promote everything but a man actually being a man a lot of the times and actually doing what's gonna help himself and help his community. The things that the mentality and the character that's supposed to help us, we condemn that mentality. We condemn that type of character. We condemn that type of person. But the black man is super degenerate and he's a thug and he's a player. We promote that guy. We glorify that guy in our community. And then with the women, it's popular for a woman to just act super promiscuous, not have any type of modesty or anything like that. And I'm not a guy sitting here trying to be like, okay, uh we got to go back to the stone age type stuff. But what I'm saying is, let's just look from an objective standpoint of what the black community needs. We need to come together as a community more. We need to have a prosperous culture, and we need to navigate relationships in a way that's going to help us, in a way where we're going to have big families, in a way where our birth rate is going to go up, right? Because thinking about it, in the perfect world, I probably would have already met my wife. I would have probably already had a kid. You know, if the community was already prosperous and we had a tight knit community and it was very communal. We helped each other. We had each other's back. We had our own businesses. We had our own schools. We just had our own way of life. I would have probably already met my wife. I would have probably already had kids. You know what I'm saying? I would have probably already had my own family by now. Right. And I'm not saying that I can't have those things now, but it is kind of hard approaching certain things when you want a certain way of life. Right. Because you don't want to approach it in a way of, the secularism, as far as like you don't want to do it how it's being done today. You want to have it a certain way. And I think that the black community has to become a lot more closely knit. We have to really have each other's back, and I think that's not going to happen overnight. I know that that's not going to happen overnight, but it starts with us coming together. Those people who want that, those women who want that type of life, those men who want that type of life of a prosperous culture and close knit community, in the black community, those people who want that, we got to come together and we got to start pushing out that culture and glorifying that culture, and promoting that way of life and living that way of life. And then that's when we can start to really build something in the black community and pushing out all the degenerate, self-destructive type of mentality, right? And none of this has to be based around if any type of religion or anything. So that's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.